Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Analytics has destroyed basketball and has destroyed football and has destroyed the fabric of sports. It doesn't matter. See, people are trying to say analytics is going to tell you who's great and who's not. No. Analytics was made to basically highlight where the NBA or NFL wants their players to basically be more successful at, which is the passing game in football. That's why they've catered the rules to passing. And in the NBA, they basically want you to take more threes, trying to tell you that the three-point shot is the best shot when that is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then you got guys who say, well, Kobe Bryant wasn't efficient enough and Allen Iverson wasn't efficient enough. And it's like, dude, Allen Iverson didn't play the game to be efficient. Allen Iverson had to be the primary ball scorer. So I just think people are trying their best to discredit players like him and Kobe Bryant, especially because they want to try to make LeBron James this great player. LeBron James' field goal percentage is only 49%, if you want to be honest. Like, he's barely hitting 50%. So you guys talk about efficient. LeBron James has never been real efficient. He just has high field goal percentages because he's always going to the hole and running people over to get to the cup. But from the three-point line in the mid-range, he has not been that good. Now, everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, Iverson's field goal percentage was 43%. Yeah. You know why his percentage was 43%? Because for his career, Allen Iverson was attempting, he was attempting 22 shots, damn near 23 shots a game. And if you just look at his 2-point attempts, it was 18. He attempted 18 two-pointers for his career. And three-pointer, he attempted 4. He really didn't shoot a lot of threes. Now, everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, he wasn't efficient. Well, he took threes as well. Iverson could shoot the three. Just because you're like in the low 40s or low 40s or the mid 40s doesn't mean you're efficient. It just means that you take a lot of long shots, something that LeBron doesn't do. LeBron is very calculative. You know, he's a Capricorn. He's a calculating person. All Capricorns are very calculating, and they know what's going on around them. So when they go out there and play the game, they already got in the back of their head, oh, well, I got to be efficient. All right, so I'm going to get to the hole. I'm going to get a couple layups, you know, and a lot of transition points because nobody can stop me in transition because I'm just going to offensive foul and then get a dunk. That's all LeBron does. He rarely attempts it. Now, he's attempted more threes than Iverson or Kobe Bryant, but he's played longer. And he's played longer because he doesn't play defense. So he gets away with a lot of plays and a lot of things to help him be efficient. Efficiency doesn't mean that you're the greatest of all time. You guys talk about efficiency, right? Wilt Chamberlain was more efficient than Allen Iverson. He was at 54%. But how many rings did he win? He only won 2. That's it. But he was that efficient. Let's look at another player. You guys are basically saying is very efficient, right? He's at 50%. And this is because he's always attempting under the basket, and that's LeBron James. LeBron James is at 50%, but he's only had 4 championships in 10 tries. Why is he so bad in the finals? But then you guys want to bring up, oh, this and that. Oh, well, he didn't have the teams. He did have the teams. The problem is he don't got no heart. He's a front runner. Just like Paul George, just like Draymond, just like a lot of these guys. He's a front runner. Now, let's see something here. Because you see, they're trying to. So basically, they're trying to say he's clutch. If he's so clutch, why is he 0-6 in the finals when it comes to tying or hitting the go-ahead shot to win the game? In big games, he has not been good. Now, the thing about him is they're making analytics because they want to make him and highlight that he's great, but they don't want to show you the other things like turnover-wise. His turnovers for a career, he averages 4 turnovers like for his career. He leads all time in the most turnovers in history. Now he's at 4 turnovers a game. Kobe's at 3 while he's at 4. Now, in the playoffs, Kobe's at 3 for turnovers. In the playoffs, LeBron James is at 4 turnovers, if not higher. Now, I know you're wondering, what does this have to do with efficiency? It has a lot to do with efficiency because it shows down the stretch in the games that LeBron loses, he has a high turnover margin. AI was at 4. But you know what AI did? AI made big baskets when it counted. And he used to attack the basket, basically putting pressure on the defense. So when they collapsed on him, he could get the ball out to one of his guys to either score or underneath the hole for a guy to get a dunk. Or in transition, he would get the ball to one of his guys running up the court where they could get an easy bucket. Now, efficiency, everybody says, oh, efficiency is this and that. Right? Everyone loves to talk about that, right? Efficiency. So they're basically like, oh, well, efficiency is what matters, and that's what basically tells you is the greatest asset of the game or something. No, Efficiency analytics is destroying the game because there's guys who can play that you're getting rid of in the league because they're not putting up 50 some percent and all of this or the high 40s. The game was never played like that. The game was played to move the ball, get it to your guy, or if you have a superstar, usually you run the offense through him, so he's going to have the ball a lot of times. Kobe wasn't efficient because Kobe shot a lot of threes and he took shots which in the stupid person who is the scientist or the person that's analyzing the game, who's an idiot, I call them idiots and nerds, they don't understand that the shots he's taking, those are shots that he usually makes and hits. So a bad shot to you isn't a bad shot to him. That's the thing that's dumb what people say, like, if Larry Bird shoots a three-point shot as opposed to Michael Jordan, Michael shooting a three-point shot is a bad shot for him because he wasn't that great from the three-point line until later in his career. But Larry Bird, that's a high shot for him because he's good at shooting a three. It depends on the person. Just because you're efficient doesn't mean that you're always successful. LeBron James in PER, player efficiency, there's a lot of guys who's up there. Like Anthony Davis is up there. He has a high PER, but he only won one championship. And then he was struggling in New Orleans. LeBron James has a high playoff a PER, but guess what? Guess what? He only has 4 rings out of 10 tries. And even if he wins 6, he's done it the wrong way. He stacked his teams. He's put people in his teams to basically make it feel like, oh, he's better. Bob Pettit is number 7 in a player efficiency rating. David Robinson is in the top 5. Shaq is in the top 4. But we don't consider Shaq or David Robinson the greatest players of all time. So what does the PER really mean? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number 13, but he's better than, to me, he's better than LeBron, AD, Shaq, and David Robinson. Wilt, that's debatable. I think Wilt's a little better than him. And then you got Karl Malone at number 16. Karl Malone's better than LeBron, Anthony Davis, Shaq, and David Robinson. So it's like, what does that mean? Kevin Durant's better than those guys. Kevin Durant's in the top 10 of efficiency. James Harden, for all the ball hog y'all guys say he is, James Harden is top 10 in player efficiency rating. So what does player efficiency rating mean? Because you guys consider James Harden to be a bum. But right here, it shows that he's more efficient than a lot of the players in history, like Kawhi, Giannis. Because you know why? The PER, the PER is nothing more than something. If you're a guy who dominates the ball, you're going to have a high PER. They don't tell you this because they're idiots. People are dumb. They don't understand basketball. Jerry West didn't have a high PER, but everyone says that Jerry West is better than Kobe. He was efficient, but guess what? Kobe is one notch above him in the player efficiency level. And guess who's above both of them? Yao Ming, Giannis, Kawhi's above them. So what does it mean? Russell Westbrook, you guys say he Westbrook and he's all this, he's a bum, but he's 22nd. He's above Kobe, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and Kevin Garnett. And he's not better than those guys. So what are we talking about here? What does efficiency or analytics have to do? Analytics is a dumb way for them to basically destroy the past legends who played the game while elevating this bum LeBrownie's blames. That's all it is. PER is the most overrated stat, just like the QBR in football. Everyone talk about QBR. It's like, but it's like this. You use QBR one day, but then you don't use it the other day when Tom Brady isn't that high on the QBR list. or Aaron Rodgers. But y'all will go like, oh, look at his passing rating. Look at this and that. In football, what you can tell if a guy is a great quarterback is their percentages of their passes they attempt and throw. A lot of guys, if you're in the high 50s or in the 60s, that means you're an efficient passer. In basketball, if you're in your 40s if you're a two guard or a guard period, right, and you're in the 40s or in the low 50s, you are a great player as far as what you do. Now, if you're in the 30s or the 20s from the field goal percentage, then you are terrible. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? So what I'm trying to explain to you is, if you guys want to say Clyde Drexler, he shoots a higher field goal percentage than Kobe Bryant did, but why isn't he on this list as far as PER? Why isn't he a player efficient? Why isn't he that high? Why isn't Akeem that high? Why is Steph Curry at 17? Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, and Tim Duncan are higher than him. Barkley's higher than him. Chris Paul is higher than him. So we're going to say Chris Paul is better than Steph Curry, right? Which we know that's not true, but we're going to say he's better, right? So Bob Pettit is better than D Wade and all of them. Bird, all of them. Larry Bird is number 20 on the list. Julius Erving's number 19. He's ahead of Larry Bird. But is he better than Larry Bird? Stop it, dog. Analytics is just a way for people who can't follow the game to try to follow the game. They're idiots. Okay? PER is overrated and is overblown. Not only that, Scottie Pippen, a guy who y'all say Jordan could win without, guess what he is in the PER? He's 132 ranked. So what, we're going to start hating on him now? Player efficiency rating is overrated. It's the dumbest stat in the world. Michael and LeBron James have a high PER because the ball was in their hands a lot. They had seasons where they dominated the ball. Michael, who people say is a ball hog, he has a high PER. So what does that mean? LeBron James, the ultimate ball hog. Him and Anthony Davis always hogging the ball. Shaq has a high PER. Because you know why? Shaq used to get the ball all the time. So everybody want to say, Kobe's a shot jacker, he's a ball hog. Well, how come Shaq has a higher PER than him? Exactly. So to all the people who trying to say that Allen Iverson is overrated, is out your rabbit behind mine. Allen Iverson, to me, is the third greatest two guard of all time. Period. Better than Jerry West, better than D Wade. Okay? Now, and then this Kobe Bryant hate. Donovan Mitchell has been shooting very poorish, but what everyone's trying to do, they're trying to basically come down on Donovan Mitchell, and they're basically trying to say, is he the new Kobe Bryant? Because, you know, he's bricking a lot. First of all, Donovan Mitchell is not on Kobe Bryant's level. All right. Let's get that assessed. Okay. He is not on his level at all. At all. Okay. So the thing is this. I think is that we need to start watching basketball and actually learning the fundamentals of the game. I think we need to start bringing back the realists who know basketball instead of these Joe Blows who sit on their couch and eating hot dogs and chips and everything and drinking beer and talking about this is great and that's great when it's not. Okay? We need to cut it out. LeBrownies, this analytics and stuff is made to try to elevate the European player's style of play while also enhancing LeBrownies, which to me is very dumb, very disrespectful, and is hating the game. And basketball examine guy, you're an idiot. Allen Iverson is not overrated. Allen Iverson is better than most of the damn players in the league, or mostly anybody who's played. He's played with lesser talent than your guy, Michael Jordan, and all these other guys, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, all of these guys. All of these guys had more help than Allen Iverson had. And Allen Iverson was in a league with hand checking and where the big man or the guys were bigger than him, knocking him to the floor, all defensive fouling him, and he wasn't getting calls, and he still is dropping damn near 30 or 40 on them, sometimes 50. Kobe Bryant, the same way. Kobe Bryant, you know what Kobe Bryant and Iverson had? They had heart. They could carry a team. They're not making excuses. They're not like Steph Curry out here talking about I don't have enough help. Okay, they don't either. They're not like Kyrie, who is all in his own world and stuff, and at times doesn't pick the team up. So what are we talking about here? Iverson and Kobe are in my top 5. And the reason they're in my top 5 is because their impact on the game and how much they played with less and how they overcame people doubting them and people always talking bad about them and throwing them under the bus. They took the blame, went out there, put their shoes on, and they dominated. Unlike your bum LeBrownies, who's going to look for somebody to blame. He's already looking for somebody to blame now. Because I'm telling you, before the All-Star break hit, he's trading half for some of the teammates. Watch what I tell you. They're going to lose a game that's going to be crucial, and he's going to get pissed off, and he's going to trade somebody. So again, player efficiency rating and efficiency is not a real stat. The field goal percentage tells you Clyde Drexler had a higher field goal percentage than Kobe, but guess what? Kobe was a more efficient player than him. It just showed it. So we're going to say Clyde ain't nothing now because D Wade is higher? No. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what are you guys talking about? These stuff, field goal percentage tells you where the player is mostly effective at. If LeBron James is 50%, that means that he's more effective under the basket or going to the basket because that's his game. Kobe is 44% or 46%, basically because Kobe can shoot threes. He can shoot the mid-range, shot. He shot that at a higher clip than LeBron ever could dream of, and he used to post up. Iverson's at 42 because Iverson took a lot of shots. He shot the air out the ball because he had to. He didn't have nobody else. So cut the crap. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you want to donate to the page, you can cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and an HDIITV. And next to that would be Harry 2. That's who I am, Harry the Second. So you'll be able to find me on the Cash App. Thank you for listening. We out. Deezy.